You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. My feet have come too far for you to tie them to the ground. You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. Set my sights on where I'm going at. They turn it back around. You can't stop me.
Good evening and welcome to the Psych Call Shop. I'm Aeson Knight, and of course with me tonight is my co-host with the mostest, Techy Joe. All gray and red himself from this weekend.
I know, right? Oh, got a little sunburn. Quite a weekend. Basically, I think that was the end of our event season, wasn't it? Basically.
As far as I'm concerned, unless I decided something during the run of the Black Rose, that'll be it.
There we go. So, yeah. Hello, Brenda.
Well, and especially with the current news. Okay.
Yeah.
There are 55 counties in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them have currently closed.
Mm-hmm. So, Barber, Clay, and Monroe, I believe.
Barber, Clay, and Monroe are closed for public schooling. We here locally have Meadowbridge closed.
Mm-hmm. Individual school.
School.
Yeah.
I know, ain't right? Here we go again, guys. Buckle up. It's going to be a ride.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no good things on that front. Especially right now. Because if you've seen the school map, it basically has no green. It doesn't even have yellow. It is all like red. Just bad.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, I think there's some gold. Which,
I'll check it out.
That was the weirdo color they added. And I think that's the in-between red and yellow.
That is the, oh my God, Justice, I need another crayon color.
Well, it is. It literally is. Like, he added a whole extra color. Like, well, we need something in between. It's like, no, you didn't need anything in between. Like, dude. Like, the only thing the in-between ever did for you was be like, hi, let's delay this decision for another fucking week.
Right. All right. So I should be able to share this because I wanted to talk about his coloring job.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Where are we?
Here we go. Let's look at the lovely coloring job he's done.
Ew. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We do have one yellow. One yellow. What flippin' county is that?
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. There you go. Yeah, I'm just...
Yeah.
But everything else is red and orange. And one gold. Got a gold. It's up there, yeah.
Tucker.
Tucker County. That's right. That's tucked in the inverted armpit. What? There used to be things to remember all the counties. I've forgotten most of them because I'm old.
Looks like he's fashioning very much into fall colors in his coloring.
Quickly. Like, we're not even to Labor Day, guys. Hello, Heart Slave Joe. Hello, Shannon.
Hearts Love Joe.
Oh, Hearts Love. Sorry. Sorry. Very easy to see an A there. Come on. My apologies.
I'm the one with the dyslexia. I'm the one with dyslexia.
Oh, come on. I took what? Like, really? In our life, would a fan named Heart Slave Joe really be a surprise? Like, I would have just rolled with it. Like, yep, okay, cool, here we go. Sorry about that, Hearts Love Joe.
And yes, you
And
can
yes,
get a reading.
We need your birthday, day, month, or month, day, and year. Sorry, I don't know why I went British on that one for a second.
All right. Hello, Shannon. How are you, darlings? All right. So, COVID's up.
Yep.
Heartworm cells have been suspended.
Oh, the dewormer. Dewormer cells have been suspended. Yeah. Oh, so alrighty. All right, ready for the question?
Sure.
All right, Hearts Love Joe for 18-2000. I just had to stop and do the math. Is Jackson happy I congratulated him and followed him on his Instagram? I still haven't heard from him.
The simple answer is yes, he is happy, but let's break it down for you. He is the King of Cups. He's trying to sort out his emotions. You two are the Two of Cups, a very strong connection here that's got to grow. Followed out by the Chariot. So there will be an overcoming relationship here. You just have to learn to relax with it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, and we are working on a card camera. All right, so let's move on to some fun news in your department. This will be enjoyable.
Oh,
the announcement.
Yeah, so Windows 11. Microsoft will officially release on October 5th, Windows 11. So yeah, it'll be a free upgrade for eligible Windows 10 PCs or on new hardware that ships with Windows 11 preloaded. So yeah, all of that sounds great, well, fine and good. Now, if you remember, if you've been worried about it, because there's a small problem with Windows 11, is it has had some problems with its minimum requirements and what it will be capable of running on. Now, the article that we're reading points out that you can install from a downloaded disk image. Small problem with that. So not only do you have to have a 64-bit 1 gigahertz processor with 2 or more cores, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, and a Trusted Platform Module TPM 1.2 chip. Now, if you use that workaround, you're kind of in an unsupported state. They're not even sure you'll actually get Windows updates or security patches. So, yeah. Meanwhile, Windows 10, they're going to continue supporting it until October 2025. So you've still got 4 more years. Ugh, that's horrible refrain. Thanks, Microsoft, for slipping that one, making me say that. But yeah, so there are supposed to be some updates for Windows 10 right now. Those are coming out. They're going to add some additional features. Now, getting back to Windows 11, it's going to be launching, promising a lot to come. Because one of the big new features is support for Android apps on Windows. That will not actually probably make it out until 2022. So we're still going to have to wait a little while longer on what was considered one of the big new features.
Mm-hmm. Because it would be awesome to be able to use your Android apps from your computer.
Oh, absolutely. Like how many?
Meaning DAC.
Well, no, not even that. Like, I mean, that, don't get me wrong. But no, now on DAX, which is a Samsung thing, by the way, is a Samsung thing that lets me basically connect to my phone through my computer. It creates a little, how to best describe it? It's sort of like a Linux version of my phone interaction. Anyway, it runs the Android apps. It runs them really well. I really like it. Now, I don't know. Would it really replace that for me? I don't know. I like having the apps on my phone.
I like having both. I like being able to seamlessly move between my computer and my phone without a problem.
Gwen!
Lady Gwen, nice to see that you're up tonight.
Yes. You were up late, girl. So yeah, no, Windows, I don't know. I don't know what. It's really annoying to be sitting here as an IT professional with a very expensive computer system that is technically not considered supported by Windows 11.
Mm-hmm.
And that, yes, technically it would be supported if I do the cute little workaround. But then I basically have a great big giant honeypot system that's not going to get any flippin' updates.
Right.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. They have slept since Pagan Pride. Wow.
Wow. All
That's
right.
Yeah.
Hearts love Joe. Yes, he
Yes.
will. He will reply back soon. I'd say within a week.
Oh, good deal.
You know what's going to be funny is because we just got the Skytex on contract.
Yeah, really. Have we looked to see if they'll update?
We haven't yet. If they won't, guess what? When they do, when the next ones come out, I'm going to be replacing them.
Oh, you're still mad that Julie took a week off.
Oh, I'm mad she took 2 weeks off.
Was it 2 weeks? I thought it was just a week.
It was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm a little. All right, so Moderna finally made the announcement that I said they would make. They have began clinical trials of the HIV vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
For those that do not know what's going on, Aeson has said for a while now that Moderna and Pfizer were both working on an HIV vaccine when COVID-19 struck. They had gotten the delivery method down. They were working on the vaccine part of it. They switched over and was able to analyze the DNA of COVID-19 and create the vaccine part of it. They used the already proven delivery system that they had for the HIV vaccine and delivered it into our lovely Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. Pfizer has better backup science than Moderna. So I'd already read the papers on it. Well, Moderna finally began their human clinical trials for the HIV vaccine.
And apparently it's working well in primates.
Yes.
Which would have been the last hurdle before human trial. So yeah, it's a study of 56 patients. And
yeah,
it's basically going to be super awesome. Like, that's a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a thing.
Imagine where, you're 18 and you get a vaccination and you're done.
Okay, for those of us, and we kind of got into this tonight, y'all who aren't Patreons are, like, missing out. But, so we got into this conversation last night, and, like, I pointed out the reality of I'm nearing 40. I have not lived in a world without HIV. Stop and let that process. There is now an actual possibility I could live in my lifetime in a world in which HIV and smallpox could potentially be eradicated.
Right.
That's pretty friggin' awesome.
Right. Well, and we were comparing things because, the U.S. has left Afghanistan officially. We are no longer in Afghanistan. We are now out of Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
You were on a college campus when it all began. I was on a nursing floor when it all began. There are people alive that have not lived without a war going on in Afghanistan.
I know. It's kind of a sad part of the reality.
Mm-hmm.
Well, technically, let's see. I'm just looking back. Heart's Love has barely lived in a world without a war in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go back and double check. Like, what's the month? Because that makes the difference.
Right.
Because sorry, the 2000 hit me. I had to stop and do the math. I really truly did, because most of the people who ask for readings have a 1 in their birthday. And I can just look at
Yeah.
This is where we're at in life. And it's true. It's real. It hurt the first time you heard it, didn't it?
It did, but at the same time, it didn't hit me. Not for a good bit.
Mm-hmm. Aww.
It was like, huh?
What do you mean the 1 in your birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 1 of the year.
Yeah.
Like, that 1-9 tells them everything they need to know. You are old enough to buy cigarettes, alcohol, vote, about anything you want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, and as someone over 35, if anyone's ever told you you can rent a car without a credit card after age 35, that is some bullshit.
See, I've never had this problem. I've
Okay.
rented many cars in my life. I'll walk in, I'll lay down my debit card, I'll lay down my driver's license. They look at me and go, "Do you want the insurance?" "Yes, I'd love the insurance. Thank you very much." Sign a paper, walk out with the keys, choose the car I want.
Yeah, never had that experience.
Well, that's because you guys, I don't know. I just do not know. I think it's because you walk in and go, "I'd like to rent a car, please." I walk in, "Where's the keys to my car? Let's go. I've got time. I've got a business meeting. Let's move it."
Okay. Apparently, my problem in enterprise is I have the wrong attitude. Okay.
Yes.
Good to know. Good to know.
Well, honey, we have seen this. I have sent you to do things, and you come back and tell me it can't be done. And I turn around, go right back to where you were, walk in, do it, and look at you like, what was the problem?
They wouldn't let me. I was too adorably young. Also, I kept my head this way. They didn't see the bald spot.
No, you are too nice. You are too nice in some instances. In other instances, you are like, la 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 la.
What? I am part Smurf.
I get that. And
I really, truly am. Slather me in aloe, I've become a Smurf.
I thought you just collapsed. Example, and I made this point out to him. He was, telling me how, people always flirt with me. People always talk to me in stores. People always do get attention to me. I said, yeah, it's because I know their names. I normally know the names of their girlfriends or their boyfriends as I'm talking to them. They give me this information, and I reply back with it. It isn't that hard. And he goes, what do you mean? I'm like, well,
she call you out. She call you out. He didn't want to come across as a crazy Karen. No, I didn't. Thank you.
I don't have to come back as crazy Karen. I come across like, I won't just call your manager. I will call your girlfriend. And Teresa will know exactly what needs to happen when you get home.
Ouch. Ouch. Ouch.
No.
I just
have a built-in file, and I learned it from my grandmother. She had a built-in file on everybody. Zach is the guy that makes good hot dogs. He works at Sheets. He wears his nails painted. He gets them painted in Beckley. The shop closed, so he's looking for a new place.
Okay.
We go through the line at Walmart's, and it's Arthur's line. Arthur is married to Mabel. Mabel does beautiful things with her hands. He's a little bit older. He works at Walmart. He knows exactly where everything is in the hardware store. If I need something, he can get it. If I go to Kroger's, I go through Jeremiah's line. Jeremiah's went to school with me. Jeremiah's will also go to the back and get something if it isn't on the shelf for me. Why? Because I know his wife.
Okay. Meanwhile, I just thought I had resting bitch face.
No,
I thought that was my only problem.
And keep a file on people.
I try not to be a stalker.
It's like Julie. I'm going to call her and ask her, did she get a great tan at Myrtle Beach? And I'm going to remind her that, by the way, while you were gone, my 90 days same as cash was up. My phone is not 5G. Let me know when you get them in so I can trade it in.
Yep, because you could have had... You could have been done with this, but now you done extended my contract.
And now I'm going to be a total bitch, and I'm going to use every benefit. Because your girl Jennifer didn't call me back. That's okay. I'm going to talk to Jennifer's boss. And she don't like Aeson in boss mode.
No, about as bad as when you went to get that computer. And what was it the salesperson said?
That he's having to deal with that he needs that for that bitch out there.
Yep.
That gentleman is no longer working there.
Oh.
Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Joe, you are causing feedback.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Did you unplug something? You're literally causing feedback.
1 second. I don't know what's going on there. No, I'm in all the normal places.
Check your mic.
Okay.
Make sure your mic settings are correct, please.
They are.
Okay, take your earbud out and then I'll unmute you again. Nope.
All right. Let me turn my sound back up so I can hear. Maybe.
Joe, honey, you're going to have to... Yeah, it's squelching terribly.
Okay. I don't know why.
All right, let's bounce you out and come back again.
Alrighty. Be right back, guys.
Oh. No, it's on the Joe side. Mr. Techy Joe is having really bad connection there. I don't know what the deal was or what he bumped. Let's try this again.
Ready.
Welcome back.
Hi, I'm here.
Yeah, I can
100%
hear you
less
when you aren't hurting my ears or anybody else's.
You know. Okay, so Brenda thought it was on their side, and Shannon's like, not my TV.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what happened. I really don't.
Okay.
I got nothing for this.
I don't know, but we were just talking about Julie and, how, she's going to have to deal with what I call, I'm not for sure.
I don't know. We just got back from Pagan Pride, and I have a whole slew of photos that have a big green line. I meant to talk to you about that one earlier. I'm dead serious. One photo after the next, I'm sitting here going, it's a weird light glare. That's what it looks like, but I don't know where the light came from.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to look at.
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of them to look at.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's see. What else is on our thing?
Stuff.
Well, no stuff, but I'm eliminating tabs as we cover them so I don't repeat myself.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So the man representing the mega riot at court hearing is not a licensed attorney and is facing multiple federal charges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Ryan Marshall has been appearing in court to defend Capitol rioters after his boss, right-wing attorney John Pierce, has reportedly been hospitalized with COVID-19. But yeah, so a notice went out from Assistant U.S. Attorney Ann McNamara this week, claiming Marshall is not qualified to give the defendants competent legal representation. So yeah.
So they're being forced to find another lawyer. Why are we not tarring and feathering these people?
Yeah, well, now these are felony charges unrelated to the Capitol riots. We should point that out.
Yes.
These are for, in two different cases, for allegedly defrauding a widow and her late husband, and was charged last year with conspiracy, theft, and tampering with public records.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Not sure that's who you really want representing you there in court, on your great big, like, federal charge problem.
Sure.
Just FYI, because that worked out so well for Trump with, like, Giuliani or any of his other lawyers.
Mm-hmm. So this will be interesting. It'll be very interesting. I just think they should need to tar and feather him. What's your opinion?
What, on the Capitol rioters? I'm not a tar and feather. I'm at, like, can we just make it all make sense? Like, can we just, like, get it through everyone's head that no. Just no. Stop. Reevaluate your life choices to this point. See this as a moment where you hit rock bottom. And then, like, can we have a Capitol Riot 12-step program where, like, get your life back on track? Like, stop doing the Fox News.
I don't know. I think they should be put on a chain gang and cleaned up and made to clean the Capitol building.
Oh, no. I think that would be traumatizing for everyone.
No. Get out there and pick up that litter, that trash with your hands and not a lovely grip bar.
No, I don't mean for...
Grab the Capitol steps with a bucket and broom.
No, I don't mean for the rioters. I mean, we got to think about the people that actually work there. Ooh.
Yes.
I had not seen that one. Brenda asked, did you see the West Virginia college student who said she thought the riots were cool, just pled guilty to entering the U.S. Capitol? Yeah, no, I missed that one.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it was covered on NPR.
Oh,
and I just am like, really? Really? How are you still in school? What are we spending our federal student dollars on? How many federal programs is a student on? And I think our loan interest needs to go up at least 5%.
Well, no, I like the idea within a college setting is the hope that you learn something. And I would hope from this experience and at this point in their life, they may take away something with this. I think we've all, now granted, I'm not trying to downplay this at all, but we all did stupid crap in college. And for some, that even involved joining the college Republicans. Not me personally, but I knew people who did. I really hope they regret that now. Like, I think they joined for, like, the right reasons, if there are any. But, like, the few, like, not really big on, like, taxes, kind of, little against the wrong
group then.
I know. I'm just saying they thought they joined for the right reasons.
Uh-huh.
I would hope somewhere after college they got it through their head that, wow, this is one, way more than that, and two, especially like my experience with college Republicans, like, holy crap.
Well, like, I was on your experience with college Republicans, every one of them should have to write as a sorry note, a public apology on their Facebook page and tag you.
You're really, oh, that'd be nice. But no, I was in college, VP of UNCG Pride, And so college Republicans started, and two key people that helped start that organization made it their goal to try to get UNCG Pride kicked off campus. That was literally their goal. That didn't work so well. That really didn't work out for them in the end. But the actual experience was kind of ironic. By the time we got through all of their shenanigans and one leader got kicked out and the other one just, that was his Igor and he had nothing else better to do, so he followed. They left the university, and so we ended up co-hosting events with the college Republicans.
Oh,
it
really?
was kind of cool. Like, in the end, it all was kind of cool. Like, we had co-sponsored events with college Republicans, UNCG Pride, and college Republicans. It was cool. It was cool. Like, the rest of them joined and were like, no, we don't really have a problem with that. And, yeah, we freaking love your Pride prom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool deal. Yeah, not what you want on your resume when you apply for jobs after college. No, it isn't.
Right.
Very much not. Hey, Mary.
Hi, Mary. No, I wouldn't want that on my college resume. Of course, I'm not sure I even had a college resume. I went out of college right into work.
Mm-hmm.
And continued working. That's the hard part for me, is I've had that weird education. I graduated high school at 5:00 on May 31st. I reported to the floor at 11:00 May 31st. I started school September 1st. I graduated 2 years later, and so went to work that night, and just instead of getting the keys and the med cart, I got charts and a med cart and keys.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just like I barely have ever had to interview for a job.
Well, for job hunting, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Like, put together the resume, do the whole, like, knock down doors, drop down emails, drop off applications, crappy interviews over and over and over and over and over again.
Yep, I've always been headhunted.
No, I've always, well, now granted, see, I started my degree in 2000 when I basically, if I had graduated when I started college,
mm-hmm.
like if that had been the end of my college career instead of the beginning, like, yeah, I would have come out and it would have been like, here's, if not six figures, almost six figures, like the minute someone heard I was graduating.
Right. But
if I graduated in 2000.
Right. But here's the thing. I think if you had applied for a job in 2000 without a college degree, just showing your portfolio,
mm-hmm.
you wouldn't have needed college.
Arguably, may not have. Honestly, I was trying to do the right thing and get more skills to add on to that to make the bigger career.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, that wasn't quite how that worked out.
Right.
Because by the time I graduated, the field had completely changed.
Right.
So, yeah, by the time I got out, it was I might as well have been applying to McDonald's, Burger King, Hardee's, and every other fast food place in town. Mm-hmm. At the level of effort you kind of had to go into it with is you aren't, you were a dime a dozen employee. We can find 1 million of you. We can find more experienced versions of you. Right. We're not looking to spend any money on you. We're not, interested really. Like, we'll take you if we have to, we'll call you and let you know. but that's basically where that was at. Ooh. So Sandy wants to know, so how old were you when you started doing readings full time, or do you have another job now?
Well, let's see. I started professionally reading when I was 18 legally. There's a difference there. And at the time, I was working a nursing floor. Now, do I have another job? Technically, I have 3 other jobs. Technically, I have I read full time. I'm a social media marketing person for Mystic Computers, and then I'm also a high priest. So that's 3 full time jobs at the same time. I'm down to jobs. I used to carry 6 and 12.
Yeah. Mary, no, University Placement Office couldn't give a crap about me. Honestly, all they wanted to know is that I found a job. All they wanted to know was that they could update their statistics to properly reflect that a student went through, graduated, and found a job upon graduation.
Mm-hmm.
That was all they ever cared about.
Right. But no, to Sandy's question, I've read full time for going on more years than I care to put on my resume. And being a reader full time and professional, if we look at the basic work week, 40 hours, I've probably been doing that since I was 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. I like teaching. I love teaching more, though. I'm going to start doing more teaching.
Oh, yeah. So, all right, you got to tell them, though, about the Pagan Pride experience on teaching.
Oh, yes. So, me, was hosting the Pagan panel.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody like, I don't know, my assistant, the event host, somebody gave me a microphone and a stage.
Oh, no. Your assistant had nothing to do with this. Your assistant looked at them and said, you gave him a microphone and a stage. Y'all have fun with that.
So Pagan panel was supposed to last an hour, and then I was going to go and teach shotgun tarot. Pagan panel lasted an hour and a half, and we could have still been gone for another 2 hours because we didn't even get into my Barbara Walters category of Pagan panel questions. Mm-hmm. I'll save them for next year.
Oh, no, Sandy, you're fine.
You're fine. Oh, Sandy, please ask as many questions as you want, honey, because I will gladly answer as many as you have, mm-hmm. both psychically and professionally, and how I do everything. But so then Lady Gwen looks at me and I go, all right, on to Shotgun Tarot. And she goes, can you teach it in 20 minutes? I don't know. We'll see. So I had about 20 people for class. I taught Shotgun Tarot in 20 minutes.
Now, pause. What all does a Shotgun Tarot class involve?
Bits of history, how to do 1-card reading, how to do a 3-card reading, what to look for in a good deck.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So he instructs them to draw 3 cards, and then he goes around and does effectively a 3-card reading for them. Now, keep in mind, he has 20 students. He has information to give them. He is not just working with a tarot deck. It's not like all these people picked up the same gilded tarot he uses all day, every day, nonstop. No. They have every deck he owns spread out on that table, or they brought their own. So there are oracle decks, angel decks, tarot decks, different types of tarot decks, artistic tarot decks, pretty tarot decks, useless tarot decks. And this is what they were working with. So he has to go around a circle of 20 people. 20 people. And do a 3-card reading in the time remaining of a 20-minute class.
Got it done.
Yeah, that was about 15 plus 17, somewhere in there, seconds per reading.
Yeah. That's
Just
why I
saying.
don't do 3-card readings. Because Brenda, it didn't get filmed this time because we had a rain shower and I had to throw my equipment in the car.
Yeah. Oh, it was a great day. It was a great event. But let me tell you the setup. So this event has not like there's an actual technical gate, but a gate open at 11 a.m. And so setup is from 8 to 11. So everyone's milled in, done their hi, how's it going, blah, 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 eat their breakfast, set up their tents, put their stuff out. He gets done and goes, okay, cool, I got a few minutes before gate open. Awesome. Because if y'all have seen his table, you know it's a complicated setup. All right, so he sits down, lights him a little cigarette, and at 5 minutes to 11, him and every other outdoor vendor there had the same expression fly out of their mouth. Fuck! Because the rain clouds opened at 5 to 11. It was a moment. It was a moment. Like, scurry, 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 throw everything in the car that we can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, I don't know, Aeson had a spreader there that he'd take, his cousin's artwork with him, his aunt's crochet work with him, his bath salts, which that was a good lesson on bath salts. We're going to be redoing those.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every event I learn something from, I improve my packaging, I improve something I like. And yeah, I don't BS around in tarot, Sandy. I don't got time for it. You guys, unless you are a Patreon, if you come through a network, let's say you come through a network, you're paying me $4.99 on average. Let's say that's a gallon of milk per minute. I'm going to use every bit of information in that minute I can give you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, and even on the Patreons, like, that's more so, like, you bill for a 15-minute reading, it's probably about 20.
Right. But, it takes, and I really wish people would just book the 15s. I'm starting to think about booking, just book the 15s. If you've never had a reading with me, book the 15.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you got Jerry Springer equality questions, book the 15.
Well, I'll generally say that when stuff pops through on Acuity and it's like a 45-minute reading, I'm just going, there's only probably like 2 clients that ever actually use a 45-minute reading, ever. And I'm like, if it's not them, they're new. They're real new. They've never met you new.
It's fine. And by the way, Acuity done an update this morning. I've got to go in there and change the settings. Remind me of that.
Okay, I will try to do that.
Thank you. All right, but looking at the news, Britney Spears' new lawyer. We're liking him a lot.
Dad, Britney Spears' dad. You said dad.
Britney Spears' dad. We're not liking him. We're liking Britney Spears' new lawyer.
Yes,
Britney Spears' dad is trying to get $2 million more dollars out of his daughter.
Oh, is this case ever going to end?
September 29th, baby. September 29th.
Yeah. So in new court documents obtained by Hollywood Life, Brittany and her team are accusing Jamie of trying to extort her. Brittany points out that her dad already admitted that it'd be in her best interest for him to step down from the conservatorship, but she finds his terms to be extremely unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Now, this was breaking for me as we were going to air. So, we will be covering this more in depth on Friday. But I'm just so sick of Jamie Spears. I have never in my life seen a man that is such suckiness.
The whole setup, I mean, it's at this point it almost feels like he's trying to play the good guy, like he's trying to take care of his daughter, he's trying to like protect her, he's trying to, and I'm sorry, no, it just sounds like you are milking like the child star aspect into a well through adulthood.
Right.
Like, I mean, I would like to say well into, but it's no, well through. Because, I mean, oh my God, isn't Brittany like 40 yet? 39. Right. She's the same age I am. Like, do you know how pissed I would be with a conservatorship?
Tell me about it.
Like, no. Well, yeah, Mary points out there are parents and there are parental control freaks. Yeah, well, this is beyond that.
Yeah, this is beyond
like, cut the cord. Cut the cord.
This is cut the bank account.
Well, yeah, like more importantly, cut off the leeches. Like that's what this is at this point.
Right.
I mean, you have leached, and now arguably, if he is running this conservatorship, and yes, there are things he has to do that, blah blah blah. I'm not saying it's wrong that he gets something for it. I'm just saying it's like there's no need for it. You're leeching. Even if you are getting minimal amounts to manage all this, you're leeching. Like, just let it go.
Yeah.
Step away. Like, you're done.
Yeah. $2,000 a week. No, $2,000 a month for an office. $16,000 a month salary.
Yeah.
Yeah. To do what? Hold her under video surveillance?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious. Has Jamie Spears ever been known as anything other than Britney Spears' dad?
No.
Like, what was he before this?
Construction worker. He was a failed construction worker. When she got famous, he was already in bankruptcy because he failed as a construction manager.
Well, which happens a lot. Like, there's a lot of bankruptcy in construction that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. I will point that out. Construction is a really ugly, ugly field for anyone who's not aware. And there's a lot of things that are not mismanagement. Like, it's not always indicative that someone's stupid if they can't manage a construction company. Like, crap happens. Like that, like you're kiting a lot of checks to run a construction company is what you're doing. Like, you got to get real comfortable with the fact that you are flying blind. But I mean, that's my take on it.
Right.
No, yeah.
Like, sorry, he's a loser. He's been a loser. He has done nothing except torture this poor girl all her life. And we see this so much in what I call stage people. Stage moms, stage boyfriends, stage everything.
Yeah. Well, and I can also imagine it's got to be an uncomfortable thing. Like, if you don't accept that, like, your child, one, at this point, has grown up. Like, I mean, if we were talking about, like, a 19, 20, 25-year-old Britney Spears, I would be like, okay, dude, we need to have a conversation here, okay? Like, your baby girl's an adult now. you got to start letting go, okay? You know, you're going to have to back off here, dude. Go find something else to do with your life. 39.
Yeah.
Like, you're beyond that conversation. You've had to have had that conversation with someone by now.
Right.
And it's like, no, you're not struggling to let go, or you're not worried about her necessarily. You're worried about yourself.
Yeah. And
like, what do you got after this?
For you, and she can't even drive.
What does he have after this? What does he go home and do after this?
Extort her for more money.
Basically. I mean, that's what I'm trying to process there. Is like, like, this is it. This is what you've been doing for, like, you know, I don't know, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
At least 25. I mean, I'm trying to remember when her career technically started, but like 25 to 30 years. Like, because she was a baby star.
Yeah. She started when she was 12.
Yeah.
12 years old.
Yeah. So, yeah, you've been doing this for 27 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time to be nothing more than Britney Spears' dad.
Right.
Like, that's all you got on your resume for the last 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
Father of Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm. Alcoholic father of Britney Spears. Extortionist father of Britney Spears. Who wants $2 million to set your daughter free.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there comes the point of, is it worth it? You know what I mean? Like, at this point, you almost got to wonder, like, how long could he tie this up in court, and would she ultimately find it worth it to just write the check? Well, to just get someone else to write the check, because currently I'm sure she can't write the check herself.
No, he gets to write the check himself.
Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's screwed up anyway.
Yeah, that's screwed up anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not irresponsible. Irresponsible.
But, yeah, it's...
And see, this is where I'm calling for legislation to do their job and change the laws that's kept her enslaved. Because last time I checked, Lincoln was done the Emancipation Proclamation. Granted, it took 12 years to get around the world, but by golly, it should have already taken care of for her.
Yeah. Well, and I kind of feel like we ought to have a moment here and go, how much, because we've gotten into the whole, like, paparazzi thing and the celebrity thing before. How much do you wonder if Jamie Spears has been kept exactly where he's at through paparazzi and, like, this, like, gossip celebrity TMZ, like, concept that just tries to do their absolute worst to provoke the worst responses from celebrities, to get the worst out of celebrities, to catch them, you know, having a bad day, to drive them to the point of insanity. Like, I'm just curious where you're at with that. Like,
oh, I think that it's all been caused by paparazzi. All of it. They have harassed her, and her team continues to put her into the light of paparazzi, making sure that, you know, her 3 sessions of therapy a day, she gets escorted by paparazzi to and from. They have continued to use the media and social media, and TMZ especially, which is surprising. TMZ didn't get notice of this reply. It was actually broke by another channel. That, you know,
it almost makes me wonder if there's a limit, like, and that Jamie Spears actually found it, or more importantly, Britney did. That there's a limit to how much of this coverage, how much of this BS, how much of this can go on. Granted, this is a long damn time.
Yeah.
Before it turns against you. And it's like, wait a minute. This is more than anyone should ever have to put up with.
Right. There's a YouTube channel called Deep Dives that's done
Mhm.
a very good series on the power of paparazzi and what they have put Britney through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very much so.
Very cool. All
All right.
right, so
You got a question?
Christina, 92285. Will Ivan and I be intimate the first night or week we are back together?
Ooh, interesting. First of all, we have the page of one here showing that you guys needed some more inspiration on this relationship. Then we have the Five of Cups where you get stuck looking at what you don't have. And the Six of Cups showing the intimacy building there. And I would say with the Eight of Swords, yes, you will be.
Okay.
All right. Oh, so it's Lake Tahoe. As we know, there's a very huge wildfire clearing in Lake Tahoe. And one of the Lake Tahoe residents took a page from the Titanic. Take it away.
All right, so an artist from Lake Tahoe played music while on the road to put the anxiety of evacuation of the Calder fire behind him, if only for a moment. Mel Smothers told CNN that he decided to evacuate with his wife Liz in Dog Peak on Monday after assessing the situation over the weekend. It wasn't until they were on the road that they discovered that the order had become mandatory only hours before. So massive traffic jam. Apparently worse than trying to leave a Grateful Dead concert. Yeah, he said we moved along for about half a block and then it was solid. So as a student of the violin, he started playing which he started playing 6 years ago after taking a semester at Juilliard. He got out of his car and started playing the violin.
Yeah, what this reminds me a lot of is the Titanic. Like the band is known for historically playing until they sunk into the ocean.
Yeah, I unfortunately with the violin and a fire, my first thoughts are Nero.
Well,
Unfortunately,
true. Like
I
that.
mean,
That's a true.
living while Rome burned.
Yes.
Technically,
Yeah. He says I just couldn't sit there and waste time. I did feel like people were in their cars listening to me, like I was going to be, like I was giving a live performance. But that really wasn't the idea. He soon was spotted by journalists who took his pictures as they went by. At one point, his wife jokingly told him to consider stopping, so as not to create a scene. I was kind of looking around and hoping someone would be bringing out a guitar and mandolin. The joy of music just makes me feel really good, he said. Here's the thing, and this is something I am seeing with evacuation, and it's annoying me. When a state is under evacuation, why do they not turn the highways wide open on both sides of the road? Out of the area.
out of the area. I don't know that most highways are really well built, or one, that takes a little bit of planning. Now, like North Carolina, for instance, Greensboro specifically, around the Coliseum area, they have directional change lanes. You have to be careful when there's an event because you can find yourself on a one-way street that isn't normal.
Right.
And that, like, you have to pay attention.
Right.
Because sometimes that road is now going all one way. And it is meant for exactly that kind of evacuation, at least of an event.
Right.
Now, when you're talking about this with our interstate system, I think the bigger problem becomes you could do that out of the immediate area, but you're going to have to put a lot of things in place to help people once they get out of the immediate area know when to shift over, or potentially you're going to run into other oncoming traffic. Additionally, you may have people still coming into the area or at least through the area.
Yeah,
Um,
but no, I've noticed this with Lake Tahoe. I've noticed this with a lot of times when they evacuate New Orleans. New Orleans should have gates on their exits, and those exits should close, and everything should be out of the area. I mean, like every road out of Louisiana should have been pointed to out of the state. Every interstate. Why are we having people stuck in sit down traffic for 4 hours?
well, and the hard reality is you have a lot of people trying to move at once.
Right.
That quite frankly, our road system was not built for. And I
Mm-hmm.
think even if you had, all one-way traffic,
Mm-hmm.
you would still be facing a traffic jam. Maybe not as bad, though then again, it could end up worse.
Yeah, because what I'm
You're,
looking at these pictures of is bumper to bumper traffic, and he's standing in a clear lane on the other side.
mm-hmm. I mean, it's not that it's a bad idea. I'm just afraid of what it could turn into.
Yeah, because Dallas does this. If they've got to evacuate Dallas, all roads lead out.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's fear of, one, if you do have any inbound traffic, where the hell do they go? And so you've got to keep at least one lane open and moving in the correct direction. But additionally, you need separation.
Mm-hmm.
And to make sure that people are clear on this, or you're going to have a wrong way driver accident.
Right.
And it's going to be someone who, by road markings, by normal use of road, was doing exactly what they ought to have done.
Right, but that's where the gates come in. That's where the gates come in, like they have in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
They have gates that close off exits.
Mm-hmm.
And when the gate closes, that exit is closed off. So, like, to do it here in West Virginia, 19, both sides of it would become an exit out of Oak Hill, out of West Virginia. So all
that means your off-ramp
16s,
mm-hmm.
16s would become an inroad.
Mm-hmm.
So everything would be headed on to 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is, though, is closing off the on-ramps.
Uh-huh.
Like, you end up with this problem, is that when you invert the flow of traffic, your on-ramp becomes your off-ramp.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't close your on-ramp without closing the wrong way's off-ramp.
Right.
Granted, unless you literally mean for no one to exit there. Like, keep going.
Correct. And
this
that's what
is not
happens.
your salvation point.
Yeah, like the off ramps are closed. The gates close on them. You can't get off. You are kept on to 272 all the way.
Okay.
I believe it's out of Columbus, because it happens, it's happened a number of times, and they close all the off ramps, and you're stuck on there until you're out of 272's range onto 77.
Okay.
And the sub roads, like the 16s, the 19s, would become the ways in.
Okay. Well, you do have another question, side note.
Well, I've got to follow up first, and then I've got another question.
Okay. So the first night or week, just want to be clear, says Christina.
First night.
Okay. And so then Swaggy Star has a question. 5/13/1990. What is coming in for the Taurus guy and me in September? Anything specific?
Let's take a look. The cards are being kind of grumpy tonight.
Oh, no.
Well, they have been. I think that September is going to be a large judgment period for you two. You guys are going to figure out if you're going to keep this or move on. All right, let's take Wicked Fairy.
All right, Wicked Fairy, 7/20/88. When will my boyfriend finally hear about this new job opportunity and him actually start?
I feel the actual start. Ooh, It's going to be a big one for him. I think you'll hear about it within about 5 days, but with the Empress and the Moon sticking up there, it's going to be a big job opportunity. So the opportunity will be right in front of him.
All right, and is that to hear about it or to start?
To hear about it, and he's going to go immediately to start.
Okay. And you're very welcome, Swaggy.
Yep. All right. So New York got a little bit of a surprise.
Oh?
House cat.
Do what now?
I'll send this to you.
Oh, fun.
A large house cat got removed from a New York City apartment. 8 pounds. 8 pounds.
8 pounds?
80.
80. Oh, what? There's an 80-pound cougar is removed from a New York City apartment.
It's just a house kitty.
No, just because you put it in a house, don't make it a house cat.
It's litter box trained.
Uh-huh. I'm just saying, scooping that one's got to be a nightmare. You know. Like, good God.
Sasha's just a baby doll.
Uh-huh. Well, seriously, just a baby. The owner of the 11-month-old female cougar surrendered the animal on Thursday. Oh, gosh. So, yeah, Sasha spent the weekend at the Bronx Zoo receiving veterinary care and is now headed to the Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge in Arkansas. Oh, poor Sasha. You're headed down south? Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, baby. That just, ooh. Yeah. Yeah, apparently the owner actually realized this was a bad idea. Oh. That's just... Why do people think you can do that?
Well, it's just a house cat.
No, it's not. It's really not. Oh, but yeah. Okay, that's a new one. What? Sorry, I just read the question you got, and I'm having a moment here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm not sure who this is. They're under Facebook user 72862. I was going in the bathroom, and I got hit in the back with a toy. What threw it at me, and why?
I feel like it's a child spirit, and they're wanting you to play.
Imagine if she liked you and started making biscuits. Are we still talking? Oh, hey, Kathy. Imagine if she liked you and started making biscuits. Like, I don't think Sasha's going to be making biscuits.
No, the person
Like,
threw the toy. I'd be asking them to do dishes.
Well, yeah, there's that. Oh, that'd be nice. I'm sorry. I was just trying to imagine an 80-pound cougar in a New York kitchen that never gets used, trying to knead out some dough and throw some biscuits in the oven. Like, how southern is this damn cat? Like, what does a cougar have to do in order to communicate, I'm sorry, I'm from the South, to get sent to Arkansas in the first place? Like, damn.
Now I get what Brenda's talking about.
Oh,
you don't understand this because Ollie doesn't do the kneading, the pawing thing that you've seen him do.
He tries to do the kneading thing. It's more like claw, 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 claw. And it's like, no, Ollie, that's not how you do that. Like,
yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. But no, I think that would be hilarious. Can you think of the quality massage you'd get out of that?
Uh-huh. The quality massage. I'm pretty sure that would... The quality of your massage would be judged by a coroner.
Tenderized meat. I don't know. I have this opinion that if you own a big cat, then you have to take responsibility for the big cat.
Well, fair, but yeah, no. Well, the Bronx Zoo could not have taken the cougar, most likely, says Mary. It's not like I don't get that part. I'm just sitting here going, that poor unfortunate cat. You started in the Bronx, you ended up in Arkansas. I mean, good Lord, what went wrong in your life?
Well, good Lord, think about when Sasha gets there. She's already lived in New York. She goes to Arkansas. Those hillbilly kitties ain't got nothing on her. She'll have a gang running in no time.
You know, like, I'm pretty sure that cougar will knife a bitch. Like, that's all I'm going to say.
But she should be in good company.
Fair.
Because we've got Minx. Minx was the 400-pound tiger removed from a Harlem apartment in 2003.
Ooh. Ooh. That's a big cat.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. Like, what is it? I just don't get why people ever think it's going to be a good idea. I just don't get why they ever thought this was a good idea.
Because
or like how they conned themselves into believing it was going to be okay, like they were somehow different. Like, that's what I don't get. Okay, so Purple Moonlight has a question.
Okay.
Purple Moonlight, 4/12/1992. Currently pregnant with twins, but don't know the gender. So, do you pick up anything?
Let's see. Well, I'm going to tell you this, one of each. They are very much going to be the type that are very loners. They will have their own style, their own behavior to themselves, not really family. Very creative, very artsy, creative types, yes. But I think you'll get a male and a female out of this.
Oh, yeah. So Mary apparently experienced this, not firsthand exactly, but very near their childhood home in 65. Someone had a tiger. Yeah.
Yes. Well, what I'm happy about is Sasha is at least going to a real big cat rescue. They are not going to Florida to eat husbands or out to Oklahoma to shoot diamonds in their teeth.
Ew. What?
You
Really?
didn't watch that.
No, I didn't.
All right. In Florida, we have
that Baskin woman.
Yeah, the Baskin cat rescue woman who fed her husband to a tiger.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, my foot. They already got the tiger's stomach.
Oh, lots of hunters in Florida. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of boa constrictors in Florida, too.
Well, I mean, meanwhile, it's Florida. There's a bunch of cougars anyway, but they're a different species.
Well, at least she'd be in good company, but I'm glad that it's not going down to Carol Baskin.
Well, there you go.
And I'm very glad they're not going out to Oklahoma to the big cat rescue out there. Because, their former owner is in jail for trying to kill her. And had makeup and hair waiting for Trump. And it's very, very sad that they didn't need their limo.
Okay, I'm so lost. I'm sorry. I can't even make it through the commercials for that damn show. I cannot. I'm just like this. Oh. No, I can't do it. Like, I think other people watch like that whole thing, and it's like, Jerry Springer on acid. for me, it's like I could be related. I know some family members. I'm not sure we're too far off this. Like, I could end up being like, oh shit, that's a third cousin. Like, that's what I'm afraid of. Hi, Ashley.
Ashley, who is the owner of Big Cats that's in jail? Come on, this is pop culture. Joe doesn't know it.
What, Joe Exotic?
Huh?
Wasn't
Joe
it Joe
Exotic,
Exotic?
yeah. We are glad Sasha is not going to Joe Exotic's former zoo because Lord knows she doesn't look good in the litter.
Oh. I mean, tour with Siegfried.
Well, no. Siegfried and Roy have been placed to dessert, not dinner. Joe Exotic, that's the name.
Yeah. No, I've not been able to watch. I'm just like, no.
I watched a few episodes and then I go over to YouTube and get the rundown. And I only started watching it because it's included in one of Megan Thee Stallion's videos.
Okay. Oh, Ashley has a simple one.
Go for
Do
it.
you even need the date of birth for this?
Yes, make the lawyers happy.
All right, Ashley, 8/26/96. Should I go out tonight?
If so, you have to take a driver.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, fun. Oh.
But no, I'm glad to see that there was another kitty brought to a comfortable rescue.
Yes.
Yes.
I still though, I'm just mad at people.
No, Ashley, you need a driver.
Ashley's supposed to be the driver. Oh hell. Who planned this night out to start with? Ashley's cousin drives like a nut. Okay. Yeah, I just want to know who planned this. Who planned this?
Furthermore, you're in Atlanta. Call it Uber.
Yeah, really. That was lovely.
One for the cousin and one for you. That way you can get some peace.
Fair. Fair. Very fair. Oh, goodness.
All right. So what's been making your news feed?
Oh, I was supposed to look at my news feed?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I kind of had one of those days where I was having to just kind of push through everything. Because again, we were on the road. We were on the road.
We out on the road for 3 days.
I know it's a lot, but yeah. So yeah, in Mercer County, Princeton Community Hospital is basically on ER diversion, at least in terms of don't come to our ER. Saw that in my lovely hometown. Gotta love when that happens. Yeah. Parents are outraged over crowded buses in McDowell County. Dropping that over to you now. I'd seen that earlier today and did not get a chance to look at it. McDowell County, West Virginia. Schools are receiving backlash after parents posted children in crowded buses on social media. Their school board president, David Williams, said the reason for the crowded buses is not knowing the additional children attending school in person.
How do you know how many students you have?
Yeah. I'm already confused. So last year we had, this is a quote from Williams, last year we had about 500 students learning virtually. Right now we have about 100 students learning virtually. So we have to account to pick up about 400 students. And And then he goes on to mention that parents had the option to fill out a form on whether or not their child would be attending in person or virtually. But some may not have had access to the form because of, drumroll please, McDowell County. What else can you expect? Internet issues. Yeah. So, okay, let's back this up. If you watch the show at all, we constantly talk about the fact that there are counties in West Virginia, and this is one of them, in which internet access coupled with, which is spotty to non-existent, coupled with the poverty rate for these counties, means there's a lot of households that do not have access to the internet. Like, why does the school board not factor that in?
Why does the school board not know how many students they have in their classrooms?
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's the whole point. Basically, they threw it off to the parents to fill out a form to tell them their parents would, that the children would be traveling on a bus, fundamentally. Knowing full well when they did that the method they were asking these parents to go and tell them this would not be able to fill out the form they asked them to fill out in the first place. Like, follow that bouncy ball. That's like having Green Bank, West Virginia, another lovely area in West Virginia. It's near an observatory. There is a wireless signal moratorium thing. It's banned, basically. There are no cell phone towers, Wi-Fi, not a thing. You don't do it. It's a bad idea. You can actually get in trouble for it. It's sort of like having a moment in which you texted all your parents with a school closure notice. That ain't gonna work. Most of the parents in that area do not have cell phones because they're pointless. You can't use them. Oh, I'm sorry. That just kills me. It's like, really, internet? That's what you decided would be your best choice. Like, I'm sorry, McDowell County is somewhere that if you need to contact your parents, your school children parents, you need to be putting a stamp on a letter, a nice little form letter, and mailing it.
Yes.
Like, that is where they are at. Meet them where they're at. Get the information you need.
Let's remind, West Virginia got money for broadband service from the government.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still setting under Justice's mattress.
Basically. Yeah. I know. Well, and even that wouldn't even fix it for this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, that's a problem. We need to address that. But that wouldn't even fix it for this year. That's at least a 4-year project.
Mm-hmm.
At least.
Mm-hmm.
Before it's going to have a meaningful impact on McDowell County. At all.
Right.
At all. Yeah. No. I mean, how do you get that dumb as a superintendent of a school system? You know where these parents are at. You know the struggle they're facing.
Right.
Like, why would you do this? You knew what was going to happen. You were going to end up having no clue how many students were going to be online versus virtual. Well, good God. I'm sorry, some things are just ridiculous.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's just stupid. You can tell these people don't live in these neighborhoods. They come up with these ideas.
Or moreover, don't care.
Right.
Like, he passed the buck when he gets to say, well, we asked the parents to fill out an online form, and I guess some of them had a problem. You think? You think they had a problem? Like,
yeah.
I mean, statistically, it wasn't going to be like 5 or 10% off. Yeah, exactly, Ashley. That's where I'm at. Why didn't they send out paper forms? You knew who you were dealing with. Put a stamp on an envelope and slap a letter in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my God, it's not a difficult concept to bounce your little brain through. You cannot be sending stuff by like email and putting online forums out there and expecting parents to in that area to get enough of a response to be meaningful. I mean, why not just send smoke signals and see who replies back? How about we do it through Morse code? Like, that's the level of participation you're going to get is how many people. Certainly not enough to account to a statistical margin of error.
Right.
You're not going to get like 3 to 4% jet and respond. Okay, we'll make allowances, and it'll be okay. No, you knew the vast majority were not going to be able to reply to you. Weren't going to know that you even sent it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is, yeah. It kills me. Oh, the world is a weird place. West Virginia is even weirder.
Well, I have to say this: we're not as bad as Texas.
Oh, yeah, I was like, Kathy apparently shared that one.
Yeah, and I pulled it up very fast.
Yeah, Texas is closing schools down because 2 teachers died from COVID-19. Good God.
Yeah. Guys, we are not even at the traditional date of school starting. The traditional date of school starting is the day after Labor Day. That is next Tuesday.
Yep. Oh, Mary, West Virginia is a great place for nature, but it's damn sure a runner-up for the Darwin Awards.
Well, Darwin Awards haven't come to West Virginia in a while, mainly because people cover my ladders with damn stickers.
But yeah, I don't know. It seems like the kids' summer has just gotten shorter. I know Mercer County, I'll just put it out there. I cannot imagine being a parent in Mercer County with kids in school.
Right.
Like, not at this point. I mean, that I don't know how many like other areas are doing quite the same way that Mercer County's doing, but they're very aggressive in this whole truancy concept now. It is no longer like, okay, your kid misses some school, it's all right, don't do that. And then if it gets real bad, we'll send a truancy officer and to follow up and blah, blah, blah. No, it's like your kid gets like 5 days. 5 days. And then it's like, no, you're done for the year. You miss it more, your parent goes to court, they could go to jail. Like, are you flipping kidding me? Like, I see that with 5-year-olds. I see that with 10-year-olds. I can even see that with 14, maybe 15-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
But like once a kid is up to like 16, 17, 18, or soon enough to be 18, right. I mean, kids do stupid crap. They go through moments in life. I don't want to say phases because that has bad connotation. But it's like kids run around with a bad bunch. They get into some stupid crap. They make bad choices. Blah, blah, blah. They get over it. They move on. Their life improves. Whatever. They had a stupid. But yeah. I can't imagine being under that kind of gun.
Right.
As a parent that, yeah. Like, how do you control this? Like, at those ages. Little kids, I get it. Okay, cool. You're not taking care of your kid. This is child neglect.
Right.
Like, your child, like, what is your 6-year-old going to do? Like literally, you pick them up, you put them in the car, you take them to the school, you drop them off.
Right. They have they have a virtual option. The problem is they don't have the internet to support the virtual option.
Yeah.
We have begged and begged, and the federal government has handed us money, and it goes right into Jim Justice's mattress and sits there.
Effectively. And then again, you also have to look at like for when we talk about like McDowell and Wyoming County, the virtual option is almost a non-option because you're dealing with the same thing that led to them having problems getting a response on how many kids are riding the bus, or more importantly, how many kids are going to be in person versus virtual this year. To support this county through a virtual option, churches were literally like setting up their parking lots as a access point.
Right.
You know, schools were effectively turning into giant parking lots full of kids in cars doing their homework or during their classwork. Like, this is not a virtual option is an option, but it ends up having to be heavily supported by, you know, different aspects of that community, through like basically a drive-in, so to speak, a drive-in classroom to do your virtual classroom.
Right. And I do believe one of the drive-ins did that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of different places pitched in, businesses pitched in, churches pitched in. You know, they were setting up their parking lots for this, right, so that these students could get online, because that was their biggest obstacle to using a virtual option in that area was there's no internet. You know, internet in that area is spotty, and only, you know, really good internet is hard to come by. So yeah, it mostly came down to the few places that had it being willing to share. Now that was at the height of the pandemic. I don't know how many businesses, churches, etc., were ready for a year or two of this.
All right. Joe, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How much, in your mind, would it cost to put internet in every home in West Virginia?
Oh, sweet Mary Mother. I can't even begin to run the numbers on that. I really can't. Well, but here's the problem is in literally every home in West Virginia, are we talking about service? Are we talking about actually running the cables to get the internet to the homes?
We're talking about grabbing cable,
mm-hmm,
running it from pole to pole to pole to pole, copying the electrical grid in West Virginia.
I honestly can't even begin to fathom, because it's not the same.
Do you think $4.9 billion would do it?
4.9 billion? I'm trying to figure out where you're at.
Well, setting in the West Virginia fund right now is $920 million, with another $4.9 billion in bonds.
Yeah. Theoretically, that should cover it. At least, probably to at least the 98th, 99th percentile. I mean, you're going to have, and that's just to get it to where it's feasible to hook someone up.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the other problem we run into, and that's been the ongoing issue in all rural areas.
Right.
Is internet, unlike power, you have some very hard and not very far distance based limits on how much you can rely on a piece of coaxial cable the two types, to push a signal down a line, how far it will go and how reliable it will be to a certain point. In the late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of potential customers were shut down by that fact that their neighborhood had not gotten effectively a substation yet, for lack of a better word. It's just effectively you have to build in what is an overglorified repeater.
Right.
Every few miles.
Right.
To ensure that you have significant connection. You have to add another node and another node and another node. The argument that has been made towards rural communities is that you have such a low population density that adding those additional nodes to serve that few customers isn't feasible. That's why we've had to look at government grants, funding, bonds, all this other stuff to try to pay for it.
Well, we have the money in the state.
Mm-hmm.
We could make it a law that they have to be residents of West Virginia to be hired. The number of jobs that would create is unimaginable.
Oh, absolutely. And the sad part is we already got the money. We already, at the federal level, paid for this to happen.
Yeah.
And that's what irritates me more than anything else. Is that we already did this like 20 years ago.
Right.
This should have been solved roughly 15 years ago.
Right. And we're not even having to cut forests here. We are following the power grid. If they can get electricity to you, they can get internet to you.
Mm-hmm.
Sound plan.
For the most part, yes.
Yes.
Again, it comes into the, unlike power, which can go over a much further distance, we end up with they have to build those little huts.
Woohoo. Get the huts built. It can't be that much money. This is where government funding needs to kick in. This is where our stock dollars need to kick in. This is where us West Virginians watching this and those connected to West Virginians should be calling in the legislature and bitching them a new one.
Yeah. It's 2021. What kind of education is a student in McDowell County, West Virginia, really getting when even some of the schools are barely online? Barely online.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have homes that will never own a computer because what's the point?
Right.
They will never have an internet connection because they can't get one. As of right now, if nothing changes. What do you do with a kid that is, say, graduating high school in 2021 who has barely been online, barely accessed a web page, barely has a Facebook page, doesn't understand how to really use any of it, in a world that is now, right now, so technology dependent, it is practically a handicap to be computer illiterate. What's that kid's life look like? Unless he gets out of that, or he or she gets out of that area, and they immediately jump into to a program that will bring them up to speed somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all they have. Like, we wonder why West Virginia just lost a seat. This is why West Virginia lost a seat. There's nothing here. What do you do? Because the jobs aren't in McDowell County. They haven't been in McDowell County for, I don't know, a few decades now. These kids are getting out as far as they can get.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's been an issue for at least 10 years. I think it'll be an issue for 30 years, and then there will be no McDowell County.
Well, Ashley's question, more specifically, this has been an issue for over 20 years. I went to a high school that had internet, crappy internet, but we had internet in the 90s. Our computer lab had internet. Now, granted, it was a new thing at the time. It was kind of sad. Our poor little media arts person in our lovely first introduction to the interwebs sent us to whitehouse.com. And we all hit return before she realized her mistake. Never go to whitehouse.com.
As I type it in.
Yes. Oh. In the north part of West Virginia, there is a large FBI facility. Admin, says Mary. There is, and that's the problem, is between the northern and southern parts of the state. When you're talking about the eastern panhandle, the northern panhandle, the Morgantown area, Huntington, Charleston, Beckley, a lot of our major metros, granted they're not considered major by like rest of the country standards, but our major metros do have really good internet. The problem comes in that that's not all of West Virginia, and it's especially not southern West Virginia. Southern West Virginia is damn near its own state.
Right.
And has been for years. I think, quite frankly, if West Virginia could get away with the road stopping at Beckley, the roads would all stop in Beckley. As far as money going south of Beckley is concerned. The southern part of West Virginia gets the worst of everything, and has for decades gotten the worst of everything. We've really, like, southern West Virginia has really struggled. When you're talking about the other major metros, and especially like the north and eastern panhandles, and like the very upper portion of the state, there's a lot more going on there economically. When you're talking about the eastern panhandle, you're practically a bedroom for DC.
Right.
Just like Maryland and Delaware are practically a bedroom for DC. Northern Virginia is practically a bedroom for DC. And Virginia has the same problem. Southwestern Virginia, so put the big crowbar in there, Southwest Virginia has the same problem that southern West Virginia has.
Right.
Because it's the same duality there. Is that basically anything southwest of Roanoke, Blacksburg, Virginia, is like this forgotten other part of the state that no one gives a shit about. Like everything past that is like the forgotten land. It's the same thing in West Virginia. Everything south of Beckley is that other part of the state. Right. It's how we're treated.
Well, that's how it is.
Yeah. Oh, Virgo Queen. No, we have not gotten to you yet, though I'm looking for your question. I don't see it. Did it come through? Oh, there it is. Want to take Virgo Queen real quick?
Sure.
All right. Virgo Queen 82387. My boyfriend and I haven't heard about this townhome, so I'm curious, will we get it or something better?
Looking at it, I feel you do get it. It should be here very soon. I think it'll be very comfortable for you. I just think they're being slow about it.
There you go. Sorry about that, Virgo Queen. We were getting a bunch of comments on the Cougar article. I missed it entirely. And Ashley asks, any guesses, Joe, when they'll have the right infrastructure to support their school system? At this point, we were supposed to have had this decade, or like a decade and a half ago. At this point, I don't know. I'm hoping in 5 years, absolutely, we're there and we got it right this time. Because that's where we ought to be with that much money sitting ready to go if we start this project now. I don't know we're going to do it.
Right.
I don't think we're going to do it.
No, I think people are going to abandon what they've been doing.
Yeah, I think the state's almost happy to let that happen at this point.
Right.
Is to just get out. You know, like, and it's really sad when your state looks at you and says your area that you live in is not worth development. It's not worth putting the money, effort, and energy into saving. Just let it burn.
Right.
Talking about fiddling while Rome burns. That's basically where the state of West Virginia has been for years. They spent a lot of time making big promises, mostly surrounding coal was going to come back, because that's very much tied to the McDowell County problem. I mean, they're still making those promises that coal's coming back. Good jobs are coming. It's all going to be coming back. We're going to be the great big black diamond of the state. One day soon. You just wait.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, there's a whole generation that lived and died since the last time that was true.
Virgo Queen, I feel like you actually move in probably within the next 2 weeks. So I'd be packing and cleaning out.
I mean, now I have to turn this around. I'm talking about my experience because I grew up in southern West Virginia, Mercer County. It's as southern as you can get. What was the experience in Oak Hill? Like you're not technically south of Beckley. We're technically east of Beckley.
Well, we've had internet probably since it came out. We had computers in my college. I mean, my high school. We had, I had to unfortunately sue the school board to be allowed a laptop in a classroom. But, again, that was when they were very expensive, and the school was like, "We don't want to pay for it." And I was like, "I'm already paying for it."
Okay. Well, let's go specifically to the computer labs.
Galaxy. No, we got Dells and Gateways in my middle school. Like Dell and Gateway put computers in our school instantly as soon as they were usable, and before that we had Apple.
Yeah. Okay. So, and now keep in mind, there's an age difference here. He graduated before I did.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the shift on that? Like 5 years, 4 years,
Yeah.
5 years,
5 years,
5 years or so. So okay, he's talking about Dells and Gateways in his middle school, like / junior high. My junior high had Mac SEs, no internet. The first time I got online was in a high school library. We had 2 whole computers, which I think were on dial-up, for as fast as they went. Like my internet at home, when I finally got it, was faster. But I remember sitting in the Princeton Senior High School library, setting up my first Yahoo email account.
See, I had AOL way before then.
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get a home computer till I think it was a little while later. Well, no, technically I take that back. I had the home computer. I didn't get internet until sometime in high school, if I remember right.
Right.
Oh, that was a hard fight. So, yeah, I didn't technically get online till like 1997. Like, I showed up in all the worst moments. Oh, but yeah. Yeah, dial up. Oh, yeah. I remember dial up.
Mm-hmm.
But no, so yeah, the big new computer lab in high school, because we still had the Mac SEs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, circa 1998, I was doing journalism class, laying out a newspaper in Aldous PageWorks on a Mac SE, black and white Mac SE, little 9-inch screen, trying to do an 11 by 17 tabloid style layout. Up until my senior year, when we got the new computers, a crap ton of new to 1999 compact Presarios. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't there for the compact era.
No, we never got Dells.
No, we got Dells and Gateways. Like, Dell sent cases of, like, pallet trucks full of computers to Fayette County.
Well, see, the problem we had in the Mercer County school system is they kept buying computers.
Uh-huh.
What they didn't buy was training.
Ah.
So what they kept doing is we started technically on computers, little IBM PC Juniors, if I remember right. Granted, I'm going all the way back to like the 80s with this. They bought those, and the teachers didn't know how to use them because they didn't train the teachers. Then we had labs full of Apple IIe's that the teachers didn't know how to use. Some of them didn't even know where the power switch was.
Right.
Like, yeah, this is what kept happening. It wasn't until junior high that I actually had the ability to take a computer class with someone who knew what a computer was and how to use it more than I did.
Oh, no. Ours was totally trained. Like, our teachers took training in midsummer. Like, they were required computer classes. Our teachers were awesome.
Well, and then I turned around and got to high school, took keyboarding 1 on a typewriter, took keyboarding 2 that had just switched over to computers, and I had to explain to our teacher how the mouse worked with the insertion point, so you did not have to backspace all the way back to where you made your error and start over. Like, that was a thing I had to show this woman. I thought she was being facetious. I thought she was screwing with this girl's head for a minute. Freak her out, make her, like whatever. And then I realized, no, she's serious. She is dead accurate serious. She did not know how to take the mouse and move it and click. She learned something new that day. Her world was open. She was in awe. And I went, oh, sweet Mary, Mother of God. Then I think back to all the times I could have graduated with 4.0. Because I spent from junior high to high school getting called to the principal's office to fix shit. But yeah, so anyway, this is the Southern West Virginia experience.
Right.
You're sitting there years before me with Windows computers, decent
Windows 95, and then we went to Windows 98.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, we had teachers that didn't even know how to turn them on.
Right.
Like, what the heck? That's what Southern West Virginia did. Compared to further up the state.
Right. But I will say that we had principals and teachers that fought like hell to get it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I'm not knocking that one. I'm just saying that this is the differential. Like when we're talking about this stuff, I to some degree understand it. Mercer County did a little better, but it's in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were lucky we got the money for it,
Right.
to buy the computers.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we didn't get the training,
Mm-hmm.
a fair number of us students figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know how weird of an educational experience it is to go through school teaching your teachers how to use the technology in the classroom?
Right.
Like, I'm not knocking any of the teachers. All of them would have gladly taken a class.
Right. That's what I'm
Every
saying. The
single-
Fayette County fought for it. Fayette County put us through it. Fayette County put their teachers through it. That's where Mercer County messed up at.
See, Mercer County, because I've talked to at least one teacher, if not a couple, over the years, one specifically, who said, we fought, we tried.
Mm-hmm.
The board said, we don't have the money for education.
Mm-hmm.
How, like, and process that. The Board of Education looked at a group of teachers and said, we don't have money for your education.
Right.
So that you can teach your students to use the technology that we put in your classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. It's unbelievable. And I don't think it's gotten much better. That's the even worse part.
Right.
Is it's not really gotten better.
Right.
Kills me. But anyhow.
Yeah. Well, guys, unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap this up because we're hitting the 2-hour mark. Stephanie, hi. Welcome to. Sorry, bye. Watch the pre-load.
You know, sorry, Stephanie. Glad you could join us. We really are. But yeah, we've hit the end of the show, so we're about to do our thank yous. And I just did it. I got it now. So yeah, we do want to thank our supporters: Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Ashley Giss, Shannon C, Shannon D, and the ever wonderful Lady Gwendolyn. If you'd like to learn more about the show or how to become a excuse me, Patreon sponsor, or as we love to call you, our lovely baristas, please visit PCSPnetwork.com. And I'll try not to die before we end the show.
Preferably not. We will be back Friday night talking about hot topics. I'll have details on the Britney Spears case because I'll be briefed on that. And, you know, who else will pop up in the news? We'll see. Pluto's getting a lot of interaction with the inner planets this month, which means there's going to be a lot of news and power struggles that we will be talking about. Be warned. Warning, warning, warning. Mercury is going retrograde the 27th of September. Prepare yourselves. Back up your computers. Get Joe's card. Get your legal documents signed. Clean your house. Take care of projects that need addressed now. Otherwise, Mercury will make you do it. Other than that, have a lovely evening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Stacked. You can whisper behind my back. You can show me how the odds are up against me all day long. But I've been through the fire and come out alive, and there's no more fear in my eyes. Oh, now I'm rising, and you can't bring me down. You can't stop me now.